Hey everyone, yes I do mean you. It's me, Silver Daddy. Are you ready for another exciting adventure, aka trip or Trippin' with me? We're about to discover and share some amazing life stories. If I take a few sudden tangent turns along the way, don't worry, because I'll find our way back. Come on, climb aboard and buckle up because we are ready to start another great episode of
Trippin' with Silver Daddy.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Trippin' with Silver Daddy. And I'm here. And you ask, where is here? This week, I'm in Mobile, Alabama. I'm on the Gulf Coast of Mobile. Mobile's famous for a lot of things, let me tell you. Not only does it have a lot of historical value and historical homes and buildings, but did you know Mobile has 4 nicknames? Most cities have like 1 nickname. They have 4. Oh my God, now am I going to remember all 4? Let's see, the Port City, the City of Six Flags, the Azalea City, and the City to the Gulf. So, yes, I remembered all 6 of the names of Mobile. And not only that, Mobile, when I said it's the Port City, because they have the 9th largest seaport in the United States. And it's the 12th busiest, too. So it's really a port area. And it's also home to a Carnival cruise ship, Spirit. Not only that, Mobile, Alabama was the first city in Alabama. Did you know that? In 1702, they had like 112 residents. Became the very first city of the state. See, I know some of my facts. But some of the other things, it's also home to a lot of Major League Baseball players that are even in the Hall of Fame. One particular one is Hank Aaron, because Hank Aaron also played for the Cincinnati Reds, and I saw Hank Aaron play. So I am very happy about that. He also played for Atlantic Braves most of his career, but he did play for Cincinnati Reds for a year or 2. And this is the city that the original Mardi Gras started. In 1703, it wasn't New Orleans, it was here in Mobile. So this is the party city where all the parties started. Most people don't know that. It's also one of the rainier cities in the United States. They say they have 5 feet of rain. But I know this past year, Fort Lauderdale became the rainiest city in the United States. So they're not beating Fort Lauderdale, because I've been through a lot of floods there, let me tell you. Yes. But Mobile has so many things. I'm really excited. You know, it's also the home to the USS Arizona battleship. I think I've been on a battleship. I think I'm going to go see the battleship. And I want to see some of these historical homes. They're just simply beautiful. This area is so unique. I've never been here. I'll tell you one thing. It has a lot of gardens, and the azaleas, when I mentioned the azaleas as part of its nickname, that was one of my mother's favorite bushes, was azaleas. And I remember my mom's azaleas. My mother would have loved to have visited this city. I know she would have. My daughter would love this city because of its history, its flowers, everything it stands for. I know I'm going to love this city, and I can't wait to take you along with me. We're going to go explore Mobile together. I don't know where I'm going like usual, but I'll be somewhere. So right after this commercial, and you listen to my sponsor, let's see where I end up first. I'll tell you one thing, I bet it's going to be beautiful, and I bet we're going to have fun. Hey, I'm going to take a short break. You please listen to my sponsor, and I'll be right back. Do you want to upgrade your home to maybe waterfront property or looking for investment property here in Broward or West Palm Beach counties, and you want it to be hassle-free and stress-free and drama-free? Then you need Real Estate Agent Mark. He has years of customer service and knows this market. Let me tell you, the great thing about Real Estate Agent Mark is he always answers his phone. He's never missing an action. This is why I recommend Real Estate Agent Mark to my family, friends, and you, my followers. So it doesn't matter if you live in New York, LA, Dubai, Rome, London, or Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. If you're looking to buy real estate in South Florida, contact Real Estate Agent Mark. You can contact him at palmbeachrealtor4u.com. Hi everyone, welcome back to Trippin with Silver Daddy. And isn't this place beautiful? This is the Oakleigh Historical House here in Mobile, Alabama. Yes. No, it's really my house, can't you tell? So you need to be watching this on YouTube just to see the photos of this house. This house here, it is just so simply beautiful. And all the property and the trees here. Let me do a fast, just kind of show everyone around that's watching on YouTube. It's very historical, very old, and a very fine example of architecture. So let's talk a little bit about this house. Most people, every time we see one of these beautiful southern grand homes, they think of cotton and they think of cotton plantations. This actually wasn't part of a cotton plantation. This house, the Oakleigh house, which comes from two words, oak, for the live oak trees, and Lea, L-E-I, which meant meadows. It was purchased in 1833 by James Roper, and he was a bricklayer up in Virginia, and he came down to this area, found this property, and he chose this property because it actually was sitting on a bunch of clay. You know, he's a bricklayer. Clay means something to him. And probably the bricks on the bottom of this, they said, was made by him on this property. So this property, 33 acres, started in 1833. Then in 1837, there was this called the Panic of 37, and his businesses started not doing so well. So James Roper moved his family to New Orleans, and he became a lumber salesperson type thing. And during that time, he kind of defaulted on some of his payments, and the bank took over all his property here in Mobile. It was later sold to a guy part of the Ohio Railroad. His name was Irvin. Can't remember his first name. But this guy named Irvin, who was a part of the railroad industry, came down through this area, saw the house, and ended up buying the property. And it stayed in the Irvin family for years until in the early 1900s, it was finally sold by his great-granddaughter. It is now owned by the Historical Society, and it has been renovated. So the Irvins, when they took over the place, they actually expanded. And this is considered the architect is Greek Revival. And this is the largest one in Alabama. Basically, if you look here, you'll see there's steps down here in the center. Steps go upstairs. The second floor is the main living of this house, and the house is T-shaped. There's two different wings off the main building. So it is a T-shaped house. So the Irvins, kind of interesting story about them, is the father and the sons were all part of the Civil War. And they were all fighting for the Confederates, the South. Well, the Union, the Northern troops came through here. His wife was actually a citizen of Britain. So she actually hung the Union Jack flag from the second floor with her citizenship of being from Great Britain, because that actually gave them neutral alliance in the war. So the Union couldn't take over the house or invade it and take it from the family. Once the war was all over, her husband came back and sons, and they were very high up. Her sons actually were the assistants to the Confederate President Davis. So this place has a lot of historical value, but more than just a historical value, it's just the beauty. I think it is just one of the more beautiful places I've seen. And it's right in a neighborhood with all these people. Hey everyone, you know, if you get here to Mobile, you need to come here to the historical Oakleigh House and Gardens. There's a lot more to this property than just the house. There's also different barracks and cottages that belong to the family. But I'm telling you, these live oak trees are beautiful. You need to see this. Hey, if you're listening to me on my audio podcast, make sure you go to my YouTube so you can see some of the photographs. I gotta take a short break. You've been listening to Trippin' with Silver Daddy. Hey, do you like premium fetish and leather products? Then you need to go to Leatherworks. That's where I go shopping. They make so many things in-house, and they only use the best quality leather. Leatherworks is inclusive of all sexuality, gender, and body types. So even me, Daddy Bear, can get the perfect fit. You can join the Lifestyle Club program. It offers discount on in-store products and classes. Yes, they have specialty classes. And they also have community parties. If you need to buy that special gift or want that unique holiday gift, go to leatherworks.com. That's Leatherworks is spelled WERKS.com, and you can buy online. Hi everyone, welcome back to Trippin' with Silver Daddy. And I am at an incredible place. Do you see that big battleship behind me? That's the USS Alabama. And I gotta turn the camera. I'm at the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park here in Mobile, Alabama. You may hear a lot of cars. There's a highway over on that side. Can you believe it? They wouldn't stop the traffic for me to record this. Amazing. But this is an amazing park because that battleship back there, not only does it weigh about 45,000 tons, it was very active in World War II in the Pacific. This battleship was actually built out in Norfolk, Virginia back in 1940. It started its military in the North Pacific in 1942. So by the end of that year, it was called into battle for World War II in the South Pacific, where a lot of battleships were taking on Tokyo at the time. That ship there, it housed 2,500 crew members. Can you imagine being in tight quarters with 2,500 men? Oh my! Military men? Oh my! I just tell you, some dreams could only come true. But that ship is historical in many ways. So a lot of the battleships that were built back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, once they were decommissioned, they were actually sent to scrap yards. This one lives on forever because in 1962, I believe it was, around 62, or maybe it was 65, around that mid-60s, the Navy and the military decided that this ship was going to be retired after it actually received 5 military stars for battle. Not only did it receive 5 military stars, that ship there actually led all the ships into the Bay of Tokyo for the surrender of World War II by Tokyo. So that ship is so famous for a lot of things. Not only did it just survive the war, but it has historical value. So a bunch of people in Alabama, because it is the USS Alabama, and in Mobile, and Mobile's a big port city in the Gulf of Mexico, they decided that they needed to save this ship. And that's what they did. They brought it here, they created this park, and this park has become an economical boost for the area. Not only are millions of people coming here to see this battleship, but it has brought in over $1 billion to the economy. It's amazing what a few people can do, how it can help an entire city, like the USS battleship. I think it's an incredible place to come visit. If you are on the Gulf Coast or you ever make your way down here into the panhandle of Florida, over into Mobile, Biloxi, New Orleans, make sure you stop here because this is a part of U.S. history. I did just finish watching a TV show on Netflix, The Pacifica, which was done by Spielberg, and I think Tom Hanks produced it, and it's all about the battles that took place here in the Pacific. So I found that amazing, and I hope you find this amazing and come here and visit. Now you can see me in better sunlight. Hey everyone! I'm having a great time. I hope you're having a good time, but you're going to listen to my sponsor and I'll be right back. And who knows where I'm going to be? So when you're out on vacation, visiting Europe or the beaches, just having fun, enjoying life, what is your other best friend doing? Are they behind a cage in that pet spa where they get to come out and join the other pets in the yard for an hour? That's no life. Let Silver Daddy come and take care of your pet. If you are in Broward County and you want a Silver Daddy to cuddle and take care of your pet, then just send me an email at trippinwithsilverdaddy@gmail.com. Hey everyone, welcome back to Trippin' with Silver Daddy. Oh, I'll tell you, Mobile, Alabama is just beautiful. I've never been to this city. Look at this house. If you're not watching me on YouTube, you need to. This house is the Bragg-Mitchell house. Really, it's a mansion, but they just called it a house. This was built by John Braggs. Now, John Braggs, he was born and raised in North Carolina. He went to the University of North Carolina and got his law degree in 1924. Yeah. In like 1926, he became an attorney. In 1930, he moved down here to Mobile, Alabama. Started his law practice, became successful, and then they made him a judge of the 10th Judicial District. He was a judge down here. Then in 1955, he bought this property and started to build his home. That's just no regular home. But then after he was a judge, he was elected to Congress. Until this thing happened called the Civil War. And then he basically took the side of the South. He was from down here in Mobile, Alabama. And this was his house. And it's just beautiful. You know, this house in Mobile, Alabama, the Bragg-Mitchell house, is one of the most photographic houses in the United States, and probably the most photographed house here in Alabama. No wonder. The place is beautiful. But this place has a lot of historical value too. It's kind of weird. If you're watching my video, you see all these giant trees around the house. These giant trees was planted after the Civil War. They're live oaks. And they are just beautiful. The reason I know they were planted after the Civil War, because what's part of the historical value of this property, loud car running by, what's historical about this property is that John Braggs had all these tall live oaks on the entire property cut down. So the Confederates would be able to easily bomb and fight the Union when the war came to Mobile. They were all convinced that the war is going to come to Mobile because Mobile was sitting on a port on the ocean. So he cut every tree down on his property so they would be able to fight better. And he took all of his property, all of his furniture, artwork, paintings, everything he had, took everything out of his home and sent it up to his plantation and stored it on his plantation to prevent it from being looted and taken in case the property would fall to the Union. They were always afraid of this. But the funny thing about the whole story, the Civil War never made it to Mobile. It never came here. So he didn't have to cut all his trees down. He didn't have to move all his furniture to the plantation. Because the Civil War in the United States never came into Mobile, Alabama. That is why there are so many historical old homes here that were not touched by the Confederate, or by the Civil War, I mean. Now, the sad part about this story, when he moved all his furniture and art and everything from the house to his plantation in some other county, that plantation was invaded by the Wilson Raiders from the north, and they burnt everything. they burnt and destroyed everything of his. So all his old furniture and that he took from the house got destroyed. If he just left it here, there would have been no problem. But this place is beautiful. And a little bit about it, the architect of this place was actually his brother, Alexander Bragg. Alexander Bragg is John Bragg's brother, who was an architect here in Mobile area. He designed the house. It is designed after an Italian home, but it is simply a beautiful piece of art and history and everything. I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance and you're in the Mobile area, you need to come see these historical places, especially this location here at Bragg-Mitchell House. Hey everyone, I'm going to take a short break. Please listen to my sponsors, and I'll be right back from somewhere in Mobile.
Have a promotion like a birthday or celebrating an anniversary? Or would you like to advertise your business on Trippin with Silver Daddy? No matter what you want to do, I can help you. Just send me an email to trippinwithsilverdaddy@gmail.com. Don't forget, there's no G in Trippin.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Trippin with Silver Daddy. This is my final stop here in Mobile, and see that beautiful building behind me? It's a historical place, like everything in Mobile. That is the Basilica Catholic Church here in Mobile. It is the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. And yes, it's very historical. Not only is it registered in U.S. historical buildings, but it is also part of the Roman Catholic historical buildings. So this all started back in 1703, when this area got its very first Roman Catholic parish. And that was actually issued by an archbishop, of all places, in Quebec, Canada. Yeah, an archbishop in Quebec, Canada makes a parish on the Gulf Coast in Florida, Alabama, this whole area. It was the very first Roman Catholic parish on the Gulf Coast. So, very historical building. And that was in 1703. Then in about 1711, they moved the parish to this location here. And at that time, that's when there was some name changes. They actually changed the parish name to Notre Dame de la Mobile, Our Lady of Mobile. And it stayed that name until later in 71, when the Spanish took over. When the Spanish took over this area, it officially got changed to the Immaculate Conception. So, kind of went through some changes in names. But that building there was started in 1835. It's built of red brick. Mass is going on, but I'm going to go over afterwards and take some photographs. So it was started back in 1835. It's made of brick. It then kind of paused. Remember I talked earlier when I was at one of the houses, the Oakleigh house, that there was this economic panic of 1837. So that kind of stopped construction. Fundings became very tight at that time. But it was completed in 1850. So this building behind me has been here since 1850. It is home to the Archbishop down in this area, and does a lot of work in the community. It is very historical and on a lot of different levels. Now, there's stained glass windows in here that were actually made in Munich, Germany by this famous stained glass worker named Franz. And it's one of the exceptional in art pieces of the entire basilica here and known throughout the world. So I'm going to go over there. Looks like Mash just got out. I'm going to take a tour, but unfortunately, I can't record in there and talk like I do out here. So I had to do this from outside. Hey everyone, this is the end of my trip here in Mobile. I hope you had fun. It is such a beautiful city. So if you're an architect, you need to come here. I'm telling you, this is a great place to spend some time on the Gulf Coast in Alabama. I just want to tell you one thing. Remember, as always, love, peace, and respect. Bye.